Welcome back to my lovely IHP community and the 5D Collective as we enter pretty much that last quarter of our year. We are going to be settling into all that is new, all that has come to light. And for our IHP community, I might pause some of our content for a bit as I get organized and try to let you all in on. We're here when it's the free content, stories, perspectives, and all empowered people love to love, they love to live, and they love to laugh. You have secure attachment or you're getting earned secure attachment. So I want this to be clear. You don't follow the facade lady or facade man to shame people, blame, fault, revenge. You follow them to tease them like I do. And then for us to come together. So we all know of the importance of taking your childhood trauma stuff and any of it seriously, not just use mouths. And I want this to be presented because I've seen the ones who they just use mouths. Okay, so I'm gonna go on to let you remember life's short and facades don't turn into pachas unless Cusco ends the story of the Emperor's New Groove with, hey Pacha, so I have something to confess to you, Pacha. I lied to you. I did it. I recognize all of the things that I did because of my maladaptive patterns and my adaptive child, my teenage version, and my 3-year-old was on pause because I had this thing called rupture, and my 1-year-old, whatever it is, I had shit and a distorted self. And that's why I was reactive, and that's why my ego. So anytime you meet a person who's authentically healing, they're going to come with a conversation of every single one of the moments that they basically did what is called projection. Anytime you find somebody who doesn't want to become their whole self, they will not speak of your relationship in a way of you being able to know that they're an independent, and I'm talking in general. So there are those who take accountability, regulation, awareness seriously. You'll know who they are because we're all being updated with the good trauma attachment versus the ones who romanticize. It's hard, Maria, it's hard. Why are you making it sound so easy? Didn't make it sound easy. But now I know what I got in the room. Okay, so, why are you taking their side? You're taking their side. This is like many of my years. You know what? Your stuff, it bothers me sometimes. I'm bothered by you. But not in a way of, hey, you know what? I noticed that I have this thing anytime. So when a person's empowered, they actually aren't talking about you to you. I should remember. Oh, I'm so sorry. Right now I'm thinking about there's a whole difference when you're talking to empowered people. Yeah, so you'll know when you got a whiner in town, and that's because you'll just be like, wow, okay. Cusco, what's up? Oh, you're the squirrel from Cusco. I noticed you a mile away as you scurried off to do something completely not nice. Okay, so it's not that it's not nice because it's mean, a Lucifer type mean. There isn't a Lucifer type mean. Nope. There's all people who don't know how to love their self. Yes, again, if Lucifer had integrity, he'd be like, shit, I got all people who don't know how to be their self. Since the story of Lucifer is that he doesn't care about basically people who are living unhealthy lifestyles, it's not about polyamory. Unhealthy lifestyles are people torture chamber, drugging, drinking, fucking in ways that are completely out of whack. They've even created tarot cards so that they can fuck each other. Then there's the ones who say, you need to allow us to do our stuff the way we want to do it. And so you got voices who are, I want to be seen and accepted exactly as I am in my torture chamber trauma stuff. So there's just so many different ways I can present to you. When you notice an agenda, it's because it's a teenager who's telling you, I want to stay avoidance because I don't want to do the journaling, mindfulness, plus all people are fucked up. So I'm just going to stay in a suffering body. So anybody who wants to stay in the human suffering body, they're basically on Lucifer's team. How about that? Does that sound better? And that's not funny, but hey, Robert Spolsky, you said they don't have free will? I think they might. There's a lot of us who say, hey, you got choices. You can go to therapy, get out of that shit. Oh, wait, you want the one who brutally dissects therapy and the new healing, and they put it all in a political agenda so that you can be like, I'm on their side. I want to live the survival mode way because it means I have emotions. You don't have emotions. You have reactivity, and it's your 3-year-old. So you think you're a badass, but you're really... So, you know what an empowered man and woman who are 6 feet tall do with a reactive human being? Oh, they eat them for breakfast. I'm 4'9", damn it. I'm too short and too small. I don't stand a chance. I do know why. I know why I'm made this way. God, come in, God. Tell them why am I made this way. I would not have grown to become Maria had I been any big type of giant. I would have been a dumb buffoon, probably. Yes. But then again, I think I would have gotten myself in a lot of trouble. I probably would be somewhere completely not here. And that would have been a waste of my life. Yes, it would have. So we get to be given exactly that which we need in an effort to become the life that we were meant to be. I love you, Sadhguru. So Sadhguru, he's a guru. And he doesn't talk about God in the way that I learned about God, but still Akash, Shiva, it's all one and the same, dark matter, dark energy. He knows it too. That's why he gets interviewed by people within our neurosciences community. So, as he points out, the life within you is not there to serve your body, mind, or emotion. The body, mind, and emotion are there to serve life. If there's one thing I know my body does, is serve Maria and the piece of consciousness I came here to be. In fact, that's why I'm small. Again, the only reason I even worked my brain and my mouth is because of my stature. So I don't stand a chance in front of a giant, which is why I wouldn't be able to talk to anybody in their face in the way that I can talk on a screen, which is why people say the screen gives people the ability to say anything they want and to be mean. No, but it gives me the ability to let you know that when I see stupid people, I don't tell them anything and they don't notice, because that's how blind the ego is when a person doesn't head on over to get their self on board. I also don't like to waste my time with any of facades. And so I have my own facades. That's it. My oversoul, as it expands, the capacity to tap into those who are dying because they didn't go and reclaim their inner child is very clear. It's very, I'm not going to say it's disappointing. It's actually something that makes sense because they choose the not true stories. So some of us, we move out of that which is a low frequency and a type of energy that is of the adolescent, immature brain. So when you move into the grown-up brain, you begin to be able and notice how venting is not really helpful. You notice how never say never, right? Not all things. So you notice how to be a flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable brain. Those are the people that are going to be here at IHP. Okay, so we're going to continue talking after about connections. In the meantime, settling into this newness is that thanks to all that has come to light about attachment trauma, there's two groups at the very bare minimum. The human suffering one, who are going to continue insecure, attachment, push-pull, shame, blame, fault, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The minute it crosses my threshold, I'll be able to notice it. The people who won't, they won't, because they're still basically a teenage version. They follow the fancy man and lady in suits, and then they shame fuck each other and do drugs and drink and waste their life away on Pinocchio's island, which we're not going to do anything about because, as Robert Sapolsky points out, they don't have free will. They've been determined. And then we have our laws that keep us safe. And in the other stuff, they can be 4D mystics. They don't have to be here. They can completely flip-flop and continue to waste their life away. They're not going to think of it that way. They're busy with their fantasy land. So when you meet insecure men, they think that any woman might want to fuck them if they're hot. If they're insecure to the point of thinking that they're not fuckable, then they just desperately try to get with anyone, and then they even think they teach you decency, for example. When you get the women who are basically insecure, why do they get all the attention? I'm smarter than they are. I know I could do it. I could do it better. I can do it. You know what? They're all evil. They all want the same person I want. You know what? I need to stop hanging out with women at all because they don't know how to be friends. All these women, they're always competing with each other. So you get that shit. I mean, I thought it would be done with once they got older, but then I recognized. Then there's others, men and women, they just, I don't even know how to equate them. So these are all energetic imprints. But as the last quarter of the year comes, Yes, they're all settling into it. So some of our lovely oversoul, the tree, remember yesterday I gave it to you? Yes, there's lights, and they go out at the very tip of them. Or it doesn't even matter, because the reality is they're never really out until they're here, but they are not expanding. So you and them will continue to engage in what is, well, hey, what's up? That's so great. So you know who doesn't notice the difference about what this shit is? It's anybody who doesn't give a shit to be their self. I find it hard to believe. I don't find it hard to believe. Nope, because if you don't get your whole 3-year-old heart and 1-year-old online, you're just a pretendo who thinks you know everything and you don't know you got mustard on your chin. The ones of us who are mindfully, spiritually, and all of it aware, we know that we are the real deal, which is why we're going to spend time with those who are the real deal. So for me, I notice that any person who has low self-esteem consistently doesn't trust from their nervous system their relationships, because they don't know how to self-regulate their own insecurities, and then they let their ego's narrative take over, and that's an inner and outer critic. And so they're not building any genuine relationships, except for the ones of us who are instead genuine. My facade friend I will use. The only reason he knew I would be there for him is because I don't build facade friendships. The only reason I'm here letting you all know how not to talk to a facade is thanks to him. He's one of my favorite and best friends of all time. He's going to be my future, but it's thanks to him that I know that people who are facades don't hear me. I don't like to talk about things that are important with people who don't care, because it's a waste of both of our times. But also because you are not connecting with an open heart to me, or an open mind. You don't love to love, you don't love to live, and you don't love to laugh. You're just comfortable. I don't need companionship. I'm my own companion. I'm a favorite companion. I want to have partnership. That means you live life, and that's all types. So when someone's a facade, they're not a depth of anything. It's a self that's on pause, and that has a 16-year-old. That 16-year-old stays like that fancy woman and man in suit. Means not Lucifer, just bullshit stories, which is boring, by the way, to intelligence and intellect. So empowered men and women, welcome aboard, because we like to learn things, because our life isn't over. We have a lot of smart people out there who are healing and who are of substance. And what is sad to me is to see human beings who are going to keep ignoring the good therapists and getting themselves in the room, and they're going to continue with envy, jealousy, spite, and low self-esteem stories between each other. You lose people when you get to expand. Yes, because you know what happens. You grow. Or the crabs in the bucket, they're trying to hold you down. And that's not how we see it. When I notice people that are settling in and stagnating, I'm used to it, to the point of where I don't make it into, oh my God, I'm just used to people not caring to be their self. So it doesn't bother me, because I'm Maria. I have integrity. But I do know that they're not the ones who are going to share the depth of life with me, because they don't share the depth of life with their self, because they didn't take themselves seriously enough to get into the door of a therapist and to get healed. So with that, mindfulness and spirituality, we live a life of meaning and connection beyond the solo self. We don't pretend to be friends, and we don't pretend to be people. And while as a teenager I already knew what this is, now I know it as not only a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group, but I'm a functional adult with attachment trauma information, which is why it always sounds like I'm repeating the same horn for me, because I repeat the same stuff I said as a kid. I just feel a lot more empowered and really great, and then it feels always so surreal to have clairs and to know about my future. But we'll be back to talk more about that in a little bit, and thank you for all of those who are tuning in, stopping by. Again, like Michael Jordan says, some people, they want it to happen, some wish it would happen, and others, they make it happen. And whatever it is that you know you want to make happen, if you're being yourself, it's gonna happen. And you'll already have known that. I don't need to tell, because you're empowered. Versus the ones who, I need reassurance all the time. Why isn't it happening? Please let it happen. Please let it happen. Please let it happen. You got 2 hands. You got 2 feet. Go. Walk. Walk a walk and talk a talk. Stop, Cusco. Become a pacha. It's great to be here with you all. See you again soon.